Hello and welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn a great structure, so let's get started. Today we're learning a structure that I teach to my students almost every day. And yesterday I was teaching it again to another student. And the student asked me, "Do you have a video about this?" She wanted to watch a video about this. And I realized I've never made one. So here it goes, I'm making it now. Today we're looking at the difference between so and such. I can say he's so nice. But I cannot say he's so a nice guy. If I have guy, this noun here, I cannot use so. I have to change so to a different form. I change it to such. I can say he's such a nice guy. So if you have a noun after your adjective, don't use so, use such. So I can say he's so nice and end it there. But if I add guy after, I have to say such. He's such a nice guy. And guy is a countable noun, so I have to have the article a. He's such a nice guy. And the position is important. I cannot say he's a such. I have to say he's such a. Put a after such. It can be confusing because if you use very, you say he's a very nice guy. But if you use such, you have to move a. He's such a nice guy. Let's practice. Is he such a nice guy? That's right, he's such a nice guy. Now let's talk about headphones. Headphones is a plural noun, so I cannot say when I talk about headphones, so I just eliminate it. I can say the headphones are so cheap. But if I put headphones after cheap, I have to say such. These are such cheap headphones. I cannot say these are so cheap headphones. I have to use such because I have a noun after the adjective cheap. These are such cheap headphones. Let's practice. Are these such cheap headphones? That's right, these are such cheap headphones. I bought these headphones for $5. I thought that was a great price. But they stopped working after a week. So with so and such, I can give a result. And I can say, these are such cheap headphones that they stopped working after a week. I use that and I give the result. Again, these are such cheap headphones that they stopped working after a week. I can do the same thing with so. I can say these headphones are so cheap that they stopped working after a week. Let's practice with so. Are these headphones so cheap? How cheap are they? That's right. These headphones are so cheap that they stopped working after a week. Let's practice with such. Are these such cheap headphones? And how cheap are they? That's right, these are such cheap headphones that they stopped working after a week. And what if we have a noun that's not countable, like advice? I cannot say an advice or two advices. Advice is a non-countable noun, so we cannot use a. We say such. Example, such great advice. He always gives such great advice. Or if I use so, I can say his advice is so great. But if I put advice after great, I have to use such, with no a. He always gives such great advice. Let's practice. Does he always give such great advice? That's right, he always gives such great advice. And sometimes we have nouns that don't need adjectives. For example, idiot. The idea is included in the noun, but I still use such. He's such an idiot. I cannot say he's so an idiot. I have to say such because I have a noun. He's such an idiot. He's really stupid. Let's practice. Is he such an idiot? That's right, he's such an idiot. And remember, I can give a result. I can say he's such an idiot that he cannot even answer a simple question. Again, he's such an idiot that he cannot even answer a simple question. Let's practice. Is he such an idiot? How much of an idiot is he? That's right, he's such an idiot that he can't even answer a simple question. Let's talk about the opposite. Genius. A genius. It's a noun. I don't need an adjective. I understand the idea. But I still use such. Such a genius. He's such a genius. Not so a genius, but such. We're using a noun, so we have to use such. Let's practice. Is he such a genius? That's right, he's such a genius. The idea, he's so smart. So remember the difference between so and such. We use them differently. If you're still confused, watch the video again and keep practicing. Thanks for watching and keep watching for more. So which one is correct? As much as or so much as? Well, they're both correct, but they mean different things. Let's look at the first one, as much as. As much as is the more common one, and it means equal or the same amount. Example, he has more money than me, so it's not equal. So I can say I don't have as much money as he does, or I can say I don't have as much money as him. People say it both ways. So, he has more money than me. The amounts are not equal. I don't have as much money as he does, or I don't have as much money as him. We cannot use so in this case. I cannot say I don't have so much money as him. We have to use as 2 times. Let's practice. He has a lot of money. He's really rich. Do you have as much money as he does? Very good. Example, they all like basketball, but the 3 guys standing up, they really love basketball. The girl, she likes basketball, but she doesn't love basketball as much as they do. Or I can say she doesn't love basketball as much as them. People say it both ways. Let's practice. Does she love basketball as much as they do? That's right, she doesn't love basketball as much as they do. They love it more. Now let's talk about so much as. This is a different situation, and it's not as common. Let's take a look at an example. I can say, if you so much as come near me, I'll call the police. That means if you even come near me, I will call the police. I don't want you to come near me. So I can say, if you so much as come near me, I'll call the police.
If you so much as come near the Countess.
If you so much as lay a finger on the brim, I'll never bring you another Christmas present as long as you live.
If you so much as touch me, you'll trigger 6 cryogenic bombs I've hidden around the city.
If you so much as come within 100 miles of me, you're going to wind up in my tire tracks.
If you so much as touch a hair on his head, you will rue the day you were born.
If you so much as touch one key on that computer, so help me God, I'll have you hauled up for treason.
If you so much as touch the hair on my kid's head, I swear to Christ!
I know!
We can use so much as before a verb. Come is a verb. Again, if you so much as come near me, I'll call the police. So don't do it. Let's practice. So if I so much as come near you, will you call the police? Very good. I guess I'll leave. Another example. He hasn't said anything. Not one word. So I can say he hasn't said so much as a word. Now we see so much as before a noun. Word is the noun. He hasn't said so much as a word. The idea? He hasn't said anything. Not even a word. Let's practice. Has he said so much as a word? That's right, he hasn't said so much as a word. He's been quiet the whole time.
It hasn't so much as belched in like thousands of years.
Senior minority agent who hasn't so much as a bug stain on his record.
I mean, the guy hasn't so much as spit on the sidewalk in 3 weeks.
Another example. His girlfriend is jealous, but he hasn't looked at another girl. He hasn't so much as looked at another girl. We see so much as before the verb looked. He hasn't so much as looked at another girl. That means he hasn't even looked. He hasn't looked at all. He hasn't so much as looked at another girl. So the example, she's jealous, but he hasn't so much as looked at another girl. Let's practice. Has he looked at another girl? That's right. She's jealous, but he hasn't so much as looked at another girl. So now we see the difference between as much as and so much as. Remember, they're different. And what about this? Can I say that much as? Keep watching to find out and to practice more. Let's get started. A mistake I hear from a lot of my students is this one. It's not that hot as yesterday. Using both that and as with a description, with an adjective. We cannot say this. We cannot say it's not that hot as yesterday. Because we're comparing today with yesterday, we have to use as 2 times. We say it's not as hot as yesterday. We have to use as before the adjective, hot, and after the adjective. It's not as hot as yesterday. Let's practice. Is it as hot as yesterday? That's right. It's not as hot as yesterday. Yesterday was hotter than today. So when can I say it's not that hot? You can say it's not that hot as a response. For example, I say, it's so hot today. I'm going home. And you say, come on, it's not that hot. Meaning, it's not so hot that you should go home. You should stay here. So you say, come on, it's not that hot. You should stay. Let's practice. It's too hot for me. I'm going home. That's right. Come on, it's not that hot. You should stay. So remember, if you're comparing and using an adjective, use as 2 times. It's not as hot as yesterday. Yesterday was hotter than today. And you can use that to respond to what someone else says. They say it's too hot. You say, come on, it's not that hot. When something doesn't exist, we use the expression, there's no such thing. Example, there's no such thing as Bigfoot. Bigfoot doesn't exist. Well, I don't believe he exists. So I say there's no such thing as Bigfoot. And we can't change it. We cannot say there's not any such thing or there's not. We have to use no as a negative. There's no such thing. You can say there's no such thing as a short idea. But if you want to give the name, use as. There's no such thing as Bigfoot. The idea, he doesn't exist. He's not real. When I ask the question, I say, is there such a thing as Bigfoot? I use for the question. Is there such a thing as Bigfoot? But when I answer negative, I say there's no such thing. Let's practice. Is there such a thing as Bigfoot? That's right. There's no such thing as Bigfoot. He's not real. What about the Easter Bunny? That's right. There's no such thing as the Easter Bunny. What about Santa Claus? Is there such a thing as Santa Claus? That's right. There's no such thing as Santa Claus. Don't tell your kids. So remember, when something doesn't exist, use the expression, there's no such thing. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. And we'll see you next time.